Okay, if you clicked on this video, you probably need to stop outlining and start writing your first draft. And what really had me thinking about this is my recent client. So I've been working with a client. I should even say a recent client because I've been working with him like for a year plus. And we spent so much time working on the outline, well, which makes sense at first because is something in regards to like a book series. So of course you're gonna spend a lot of time with the outline, especially if we're trying to think about ideas for all the books and trying to connect them together since they're evolving around the similar characters and stuff. And honestly, the plot line is really like uh going on from book one to like book three. But one thing that had me thinking is a lot of times when you spend so much time with your outline, uh, you end up not even knowing, and this is my fault as well. You just end up falling for perfectionism very fast. Like seriously, it happens so quick that you don't even realize it. And this mainly happened because since we're talking about all the books all together all at once and we're outlining all the books all together all at once, we're like trying to be like, okay, so we have this part for book three. Um, how are we gonna connect it to book two and one? And then we're trying to figure that out, and then we're trying to figure out how these connect, how that connect, things like that. But we're spending so much time doing that like it's not really moving the goalpost forward. It's causing fake progress. Let's say that it's causing like a false type of progress because it's still the outlining phase if you think about it. And the drafting, this is one thing I learned is no matter how much you outline, you're still going to make changes anyways in the drafting process. So you might as well limit the amount of outlining you do and start the draft as fast as possible. And because we spend so much time outlining, we're always constantly changing ideas because, like, okay, what if we try this or try that or whatever? This idea might be better or that idea without even fleshing out any of our original ideas at all for any of the books. So that's why I wanted to make this video stating, sometimes you just need to stop outlining and just start your first draft. Like, at some point you have to start your drafting process. And I have to admit, because one of the reasons why is even my fault is like I know this mentally myself because with my own story, I don't even have much of a draft myself for my story, and my story is a book series. Like I'm just solely focused on drafting out book one, and I have like a vague idea of what I want in book two and three, let's say. But I want to make sure I have the first draft fleshed out at least for book one because I'm constantly making changes anyway. It's gonna happen anyway. So like if I'm thinking about it with my story, I don't even have the characters' names finalized yet. Like I don't have none of these details that we deem important or like necessary, let's say, to complete a draft. I don't even have those things and I'm still writing out my first draft. And I just wanted to let you guys know, like, focus on the 80/20. That's the main thing I want to let you guys know about the 80/20 rule. I know you guys heard of that. And 80% is going to come from the draft. Like, that's going to be the meat. But we're focusing on the side dishes right now, which is like the potatoes and rice and stuff, and that's the outline for you because the outline is not going so deep into the scenes and to the dialogue that will happen in the drafting process. So that's why you want to go all in to your draft as fast as possible. And another thing I want to point out too is like you could outline and draft at the same time. There's no rule saying that you can't, so why not do that? Like if you or drafting book one, and then in the middle of that draft, you have ideas to put down for book two and three. you know, add that to the draft for book 2 and 3 while you're drafting book 1. Why not do that? Or if you have, let's say you're drafting book 1, but you have ideas for book 3, and you like decided, okay, let's try to connect that to book 1. You could make changes in your outline to make it connect to book 3. You could do that, you know. But we always have this thought process that like we need to have everything in order and organized and everything aligned before we start drafting our story. But we have to remember there's a reason why we say this is the first draft, this is the second draft, this is the third draft. There's a reason why we number these drafts, and this is a common practice to have multiple drafts in your writing. So, yeah, that's just something I want to remind you guys. I would also remind myself that um, don't be so stuck with the outline for so long. It kind of creates a false, not a false, but like it's like a fluff. Yeah, a fluff of progress. Like you in your brain is giving you dopamine to the fact that you're kind of sort of making progress because you are generating ideas for the story, but it's not fleshed out ideas. It's all still vague. So it's not like 100% for sure how the scene is going to look like in the story. So focus on the meat, not the potatoes. And just focus on the next step, truly, and follow where your brain goes, where your creative mind goes. Don't be afraid to start your draft without having a complete outline. Always go back to the outlining process if necessary. So yeah, that's just something I wanted to let you know and keep in mind of. Um, but yeah, I definitely will talk to my client about that and let him know. But since it was fresh in my mind, I wanted to, others to know as well if they're also struggling with that, with being stuck in their outline process for a long time. I know this tends to happen with like people who write like a book series, but of course it can happen if you're just writing a single book as well. And this all stems from procrastination and overthinking the story a lot. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you want, I gonna put like, I don't know, a video somewhere here or there, but I have a video explaining about my consultation calls where I help people, writers who wants to like complete their outline. Um, and I'm not gonna tell you like, oh, I'm not gonna look at your outline and be like, yeah, just start your first draft. Like, I'm actually gonna give you feedback. I'm actually gonna let you know, give you suggestions, how I feel about this, about that. Whatever parts you're stuck with, I'll give you my ideas on what I come up with, and then we could discuss from there. But yeah, I have a video explaining my process somewhere, gonna be somewhere either there or there. I don't know where. But yeah, that's gonna be explaining my process when it comes to my consultation calls. Uh, that's gonna be in the link down below if you want to book a call with me, and then we could discuss about your outline. And yeah, and then we'll be able to figure out how what parts is missing, where you're confused. I want to say confused, but what parts you're stuck on, and I'll do the best of my ability to help with your story and read through and come up with ideas, and we'll figure out a way to complete that outline so you could start the process of drafting. So yeah, thanks for listening. And one thing I gotta say, make sure when you write your story, you write it for yourself. Your ideas, as long as you like it, you enjoy it, that's all that matters. That's what makes a story a good story, is if you like the story and others will like it too. So yeah, that's all I want to say for the most part. I hope this video resonates with you, but thanks for listening, and yeah, have a great day.